Welcome to Loom Shop. My name is Eric. So a couple months ago, I got the chance to meet Elshan again at the wind-up show at Chelsea Market. And during that show, I got the chance to check out some of the pre-releases from Zelos watches. Now, one of the watches that really caught my attention was the Hammerhead 2. It wasn't released at the time yet, but Elshan brought along some prototypes for people to check out. Fast forward a few months, the Hammerhead 2 has been released, and I do have one right here that I'm going to be reviewing today. So the Hammerhead 2 is big, chunky, and bulky, and quite frankly, not something that I felt would match well with me. I don't have big wrists. I have a 6.5 to 6.25 inch wrist, and this watch just felt too substantial to fit comfortably along my wrist. But on the contrary, this watch wears more comfortably and fits better on my wrist than some of the smaller watches that I own. Let me explain. This 44mm case sits nice and compact on the wrist due to the minimal 48 lug-to-lug width, while being chunky at 17mm high at the center of the double-dome sapphire crystal with blue AR. The shape of the lugs allow the case to comfortably contour along the wrist, offering little to no discomfort at all. Taking a look at the size of the case, we find a mix of both satin and sandblasted finishing that provides a subtle touch of character on the dodecagon or 12-sided shaped case. The edges are crisp and the transition between satin and blasted finish is cleanly executed. Now, getting to the elephant in the room, we find a large crown protruding from the 4 o'clock position that is signed and loomed with the Zelos logo. Initially, I thought the tall crown would cause discomfort from digging into my hand, but its 4 o'clock position keeps the crown in a non-invasive spot. As a result, we have a large crown that is both easily accessible and comfortable to operate when setting the date and time on the NH35 movement. There's a lot of mixed feelings about the NH35, but I love this movement. I use its counterpart, the NH36, in many of my own custom watches because it's robust, tried and tested, and easy to service. You find a lot of micro brands using the NH series calibers for a good reason, but you also have the option of getting a Hammerhead 2 with the ETA 2892. The NH35 version comes with an engraved case back, and the ETA version has a sapphire display back with a custom rotor. To be honest, you can't go wrong with either movement, Japanese or Swiss made. They hack, hand wind, and are easily serviceable. Sitting on top, we find a 120 click rotating bezel featuring a blue loomed ceramic bezel insert. The traction is ergonomic and has a snappy action opposed to a clicky one. Each tick is very precise and has zero play whatsoever. From my experience, Zelos offers some of the best bezel action I've ever handled. It's also well finished, like the inner scallop beauty ring, which adds another layer of dimension to this watch. Now, we can't talk about depth without looking at this incredible midnight blue sunburst style. It features chamfered applied indices that plays with the light beautifully during the day and glows like a torch in the dark from its application of C3 lume. In low light, the dial can look anywhere from black to dark blue and even purple, but with a tiny bit of light, a beautiful midnight blue is revealed. Due to the nature of its color, the dial fades to a darker shade towards the outer circumference, which discreetly reveals a date wheel in the same shade of blue. I'm quite pleased by the execution of this complication since most manufacturers overlook this detail, which causes an unpleasant distraction to an otherwise beautiful dial. Zelos is known for the use of both C3 and BGW9 lume, which can be seen on these blocky hands. There are 3 stripes of lume and a lume tip found on the yellow second hand. We also find BGW9 lume on the white chapter ring that also features a sandblasted inner bevel. Overall, there's so much depth and character to this watch that makes it hard to believe that this is purely a tool watch. With this sapphire crystal, ceramic bezel insert, 1000-meter water resistance, helium escape valve, and 316L stainless steel construction, there's no argument that this is a very capable watch. However, with all of its subtle details and finishing, I've noticed that the Hammerhead 2 makes a great everyday companion. On paper, the case is large, and on the wrist, it's heavy. But the 48mm lug-to-lug distance allows it to wear a lot smaller than what its dimensions suggest. In addition, the midnight blue dial is short in diameter, which causes it to appear a lot smaller on wrist. If it wasn't obvious already, I'm quite pleased with the execution of this watch, but it isn't without its faults. I noticed that the 12 o'clock marker is slightly crooked, and there are some particles near the 5 o'clock marker, but these aren't noticeable unless you take a really close look. I think if Zelos tightens up the QC a little bit more, this would be a perfectly executed watch. And in general, all of their watches are some of the best microband watches that I've ever got to handle in person. At $369 during its launch special, and currently at $449 USD, I think this is a fantastic watch that gives you a lot of value at a minimal cost. The Hammerhead 2 is an elegant yet very capable tool watch. So this Hammerhead 2 came on the stainless steel bracelet with solid links and solid end links, but it also came with a rubber strap. So this is a very nice rubber strap that has a very substantial buckle signed with the Zelos logo, which makes a great accessory if you do plan on taking this on a trip diving or into some water. And just like every other Zelos product, you get the nice wooden box with a leather watch roll and the brass warranty card, I believe, or bronze warranty card. Alright, so I hope you enjoyed the review. If you did, please make sure to give it a thumbs up. Consider subscribing if you haven't already. And I want to thank Elshan again for sending in this product for me to review. Zelos has a lot of watches that are planning to release this year, so make sure you stay tuned for them because they tend to sell out pretty quickly and you get an incredible watch at the launch prices that they offer when these models first come out. And just a little teaser, I have the Mako V3 in for review and I'm currently testing that to be reviewed in the coming future. So that's about it. Thanks for watching and I hope you guys have a nice day.